Rochester has become a rental city.
Yes.
62% of our residents live in rental. That's extremely high for the size of the city.
Yeah.
And we also know that when our population goes that high in rental,
Hmm.
city goes in decline. You have seen that blocks and blocks bought out by investors
Okay.
and made these single family houses into rental units. Um, it's a very short term thinking,
Hmm.
thinking that, oh, we need more housing and just build more rentals. It's a step in the wrong direction. It is, it brings the same kind of problems that we have seen and it exaggerates it.
Yep.
Because with rental, think about this: what happens if you build more rentals? There's something going in downtown, and Mayor talks about it that we are building a lot of housing, but what he's talking about building rentals.
Hmm.
See what happens here. Developer gets the project,
Yep.
they bring people from outside to build these houses, or not houses,
Invest.
uh,
Yep.
to build this. They make good wages.
Hmm.
Most of them are not city resident.
Hmm.
Once it's done, developer runs away with the profit,
Yep.
good wages, people who don't live here. What do we get? All we get after that is paying rent to eternity.
So then once I've got the house, how do you plan on making Rochester safe to live in the house?
With every issue, my approach is look into what we can do right now.
Hmm. Hmm.
Second, look into the core of where this is coming from.
Hmm.
How do we fix the core of the issue? So, when we're talking about public safety,
Hmm.
especially violent crime,
Yeah.
yes, I have said very openly, I'm going to make police visible. I'm going to put police where crime is happening in the
Yeah.
hot spots
Yeah.
because it is proven that if you put a cop on the corner, chances of crime happening in that corner goes down.
Hmm.
If you put a blue light camera in that corner, chances of crime happening in that corner goes down.
Hmm.
So, yes, I will be making police visible. I'm going to reallocate the resources from police to make the area safe.
Okay.
Um, and there are multiple pieces to it. There's the repeat offender thing that I think we talked last time around,
Yeah.
that there are going to be consequences. I'll work with judges and
Mhm.
prosecutors. If you continue to do same things over and over again,
There'll be a
there,
penalty.
there will be
You
consequences.
said that last time on the radio.
Um,
Yeah.
and but other thing I also talked about, these young kids now getting into crime,
Yeah.
13, 14, 15.
Hmm.
Think about this. This is not normal.
Mm-mm.
Our foundation is rotted, seems like.
Mm.
Those kids, they belong in school. Plain and simple. They
Yeah.
should not be out in the street
Hmm.
getting into this life. Think about this. What's going to happen 10 years from now for those kids
Hmm.
if you leave it alone?
Yeah.
We know what's going to happen because we are seeing it right now.
All right. And you
So,
believe as mayor you would be able to at least give an alternative, not to say that you would be able to get into every home,
mhm,
at least give them an option not to do the
mhm,
things that they are doing that could lead them either to jail or in the
mhm,
criminal justice system or
mhm,
whatever it might be, family services.
mhm.
You feel as mayor there will be options for them to get out of it easier rather than difficult.
It's going to be definitely they're going to be the option, but it's going to be more than option.
Okay.
Um,
More than an option.
more than an option.
Okay.
Especially if your 13, 14, 15-year-old kid
Yeah.
gotten into this. I'm not the one for putting people in prison. I don't like
Okay.
that idea, especially these young kids.
Yes.
We have seen what's happening. Prison has become a business.
Yes.
I'm very much opposed to it.
Yeah.
But we got to give these kids a path to success.
Hmm.
And what that means is they will need to be in school, especially if you have gotten into this kind of trouble.
Okay.
What that means is from 8 o'clock in the morning, you can't be out in the streets. You're at that age, you belong in school. You have to be in school.
Hmm.
After school, after 3 o'clock, you need to be in after school program,
Hmm.
learn something,
Yeah.
and go home when your parents are home.
Yeah.
Also for summer, you can't be out on in home and just doing whatever you want.
Hmm.
because we are trying to help you. 13, 14, 15.
Yeah.
I, I didn't know much until I was 20. That's what I was
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. Let's get to the education end of it, because that's the other end that you are very serious about. You, as mayor, wouldn't control what the school district does as it's structured right now. So then, how does the mayor of the city of Rochester tell the school board or suggest to the school board, we need to do this in our city to get our young people and families to succeed?
hmm So Rochester, this year's budget is $1.1 billion.
Hmm.
And we have continued to perform at the bottom of the list for many, many, many years in New York State ranking.
Hmm.
Actually, probably it's nationwide. Um, so we are in trouble.
Hmm.
Kids are graduating; they are being pushed out without really learning much.
Hmm.
And we know that what we are seeing right now is result of neglect of education for many years. So, coming back to the question of, as mayor, you don't control RCSD.
Yeah, not the money, not the
Not the
structure, not the money, nothing.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, yeah.
But as a mayor, can you wash your hands off saying that, nope, I don't control RCSD. There's nothing I can do about education? Heck no.
Mm.
I'm not going to take a backseat. And I have talked about this. I'll be appointing a chief of education who will work with RCSD board, who will work with the new. Actually, I saw the new superintendent of the day. Didn't talk to him, but
Yeah.
he's here,
Yeah.
working with parents, working with teachers, working with students, putting targets that what exactly we need to do to fix these issues. How do we improve performance for kids? How do we make sure that kids actually are going to school?
Mhm.
So this chief of education will be coming in, setting the direction, working with the superintendent and with the board, and doing the measurement on an ongoing basis. Very active, communicating with community
Mhm.
and parents
Mhm.
what is happening, how we are tracking towards those goals.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about some 10-year goal. I'm talking about yearly goals. How are we doing? Are we progressing on those goals or not?
Graduation rates, test scores,
All of it.
Okay.
All of it. And making sure that $1.1 billion is going towards education and kids.
all the
And
time.
all the time.
Okay.
All the fluff is gone.
Okay.
It should be gone.
All right. So let me go back a bit,
Mhm.
because there's a point of it would be a city person that you would be in charge of. All they do is find out how RCSD is running and going forward.
It's not a takeover, by the way. I want to be clear.
Yeah,
about
yeah,
this.
yeah. Not mayoral control. That was
Not-
something brought up before about mayoral control over city schools, and the mayor would have. You're not looking at that.
No, I'm talking about having a strategic partnership,
Okay.
a very tight one that sets the direction of what we should be doing and how.
Well, everybody should be on the same page. I agree with you on that. But there's a portion of this that's kind of like, well, I don't need to report to whomever you would report
Mhm.
as the head of education,
Mhm.
because they don't work for them. They would work for the school board. So can you anticipate there's some friction there?
There could be some friction, but I also think everybody means well. Everybody wants our kids to succeed.
Yes. Yeah.
And get educated.
That should be the goal. Yeah.
That should be the goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And public will be very aware of what's happening all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if the frictions, if it's warranted, and if as mayor and as chief of education says or try to do something else, it's going to be public. But at the flip side of it,
Yeah.
if board and people involved are not cooperating in making our kids' life better, then we have a problem.
Yeah.
So no, it's going to be cooperation between all of these parties.
Okay. All
And
right.
and I have said this last time.
All right.
We don't have an option. This is something we need to do.